Welcome to Reanimated. This is Bear Buyers and this is Bear Essentials. It's been a great week with this new challenge. Some people have loved it, some people have hated it. I did each day breakdown, but here's the overview all 4 days together. And as we break each one down, you can see it. Now, if you waited this long, you got a very difficult road to head in the next 48 hours to complete this task, but it can be done. So as we break them down day by day here in groups of three, day two here, I'm going to go over this as these flash before you and you see the requirements that if you run it kind of this way, you might be able to condense a lot of things. So one of the first items you're going to have to be able to do is you're going to have to be able to do a mission on stronghold mission. So if you've already completed your invaded missions today before trying to attempt to do this or this week, you're going to need to find somebody that hasn't done their invaded, get eligible to do a stronghold. And during that time, you're going to be able to, while doing that stronghold on hard or difficulty or higher, you'll be able to do your 20 black tusk. So just remember that you have to shoot them without shooting them in the head. Kill them first time, they'll fall dead, let them reanimate, and then shoot 20 of them during your stronghold completion of hard or higher, and you'll get those two tasks. Those are 2 points apiece, two for the killing the reanimated 20 black tusk, and two for completing the stronghold, which of course is black tusk. During that time, you can work on some of your other items. So let's go back to the beginning. I'm showing you some of the videos. So if you're way behind the power curve and you find this out, to try to figure out how am I going to even complete this to get my exotic cash. The first thing I would do is throw on one global directive, and what you do is you go in and you go to your global settings and you switch your difficulty to display one of the 5 directives. You can do more if you want to, but it's just making it harder on yourself. So once you've done that, all you have to do is kill 25 NPCs. But these have to be killed the first time, and then when they reanimate, you have to kill them the second time. So remember, when you kill them the second time, there's a number of ways you can do it. Once they've reanimated, one of the directives is you have to burn 100 of them. You have to blow them up with a hand grenade. You have to melee kill them, which I highly recommend you use your sweet dreams, because it's insta kill. As long as they're a red or a purple, yellows don't work that. And there's 100 of them that you're going to have to shoot in the head once they reanimate. If they are yellows and they reanimate, that's good too. You need to kill 20 elites, and then you also need to kill 10 that with skills. So the skill one seems to be pretty easy. You can throw out a stinger hive if you got a skill build, and if you hit a group of them in a bottleneck and they have to come out, they'll die. You can also, on top of that, throw out a flame turret behind that, so when they do reanimate, they're just going to catch on fire. So either the stingers or the flame turret's going to kill them, and maybe a few of them will die from the flames. That'll be good because that also is part of it. so you can kind of double dip in the flame and burning and the skills at the same time if it's a flame turret. So, uh, but some of your more difficult ones are going to be getting those big numbers like 100 burns, 200 reanimated headshots, 200 headshots that aren't reanimated. So that's game over. So that's something like you're going to have to kill somewhere in the neighborhood of about 600 or more, most likely, to get this done. To get to the exotic cache, um, you're going to need to complete not all the events, but nearly most of them. You could probably miss two or three of these smaller numbers. One of the more difficult items that people are having trouble with is to take 5 photos. I do have a video on how to take a photo. Um, but the easiest way is not have an Xbox to begin with. But what you need to do is, if you have working with a team, you can kind of see that what you can do is, once you've isolated one last guy left from the pack, so kill 3 or 4, and then put one down without completely killing him, without a headshot. Put him down, and while he's laying on the ground, those 3 to 5 seconds trying to reanimate, hide and go into photo mode. Use your gimbal, the ability to control your camera, and get into a spot where as soon as they stand up and kind of look around and looking for you, then you can go. Once you got them in the frame, then press your Xbox button, the big round illuminated button in the middle of or some people call it the God button. Click on that, go over to display, and then you'll come down 2 options, 3 options, and capture screenshot, and that will capture your picture, give you a nice picture once you do that. Now, what you can do when you're in there, if you really want that picture to be really neat, what you can do is you can go in there, and right before you take the picture, you can press your menu button, your right menu button again, and it will take away all the extra writing on your screen, give you a nice clear kill cam shot. Now you need to do that 5 times, but it's only 1 point, but all points kind of add together. So what I recommend is, because you have to get 50 reanimated hyenas, start your mission out and do one of your like hard missions, and start out in Lincoln Trade Center on hard, and you can run through it. That's a point for doing that, just completing it on hard. And what you do at this point, you just go through and what you're going to concentrate on is killing them the first time, and then when they reanimate, shoot them in the head. So when you're shooting them in the head, even if you miss and you do get them in the head the first time, that's not bad. You have to kill 200 of those. But through the process, you're going to kill 50 hyenas. And that's going to give you your items. Now, you have to kill these hyenas after they reanimate. So you want to try to just put them down, and when they get back up, then you're going to concentrate on killing them in any way, with skills, with burn. So all this can kind of work together, and then when you get done with this mission, you can kind of assess how much more you have to do. If you need just a few more, you can go do a control point. You can go do something that is just got a few people at a time, that's hyenas. And this would be a great time to take your picture, to do some of the harder items. Once you kind of got that done, again, you're going to have to work toward your stronghold. So if you haven't worked on your invaded, and you need to do all 3 of the other 2 or 3 of the other missions to be able to unlock your stronghold, you're going to have to get those done anyway. So just put them on a basic level, whatever you feel comfortable to do, and just go through there and start headshotting as many as you can. Um, I I recommend the build that I recommended with the Nemesis if you're good with it, the White Death if you're good with that. If on marksman, of course, if you're rifle, everybody knows the M1A is very powerful. Whatever makes you comfortable on getting those headshots. And if you're good at getting headshots with a shotgun or AR, then great. That's what you need to do. So the event is doable, and if you do it and pile all these together, you can do it in a few hours. So it is Sunday morning. You can crank this out still, and you still have Monday if you're home at lockup or not at work. You can still get this cranked out. Now, some people will also tell you it's not worth my time. Well, it is worth your time if you don't have every one of your exotics uh, God rolled, because when you open these exotics from this cache, every one I've opened has been a triple God roll. Now, the one I opened from the other event that I completed this week, and the one I got from this week, from this event, I opened those up, and I'll show you them here. They're both the same item. They were Sawyer knee pads, which I use Sawyer knee pads on my Aces build because I don't move a lot when I'm in a team. I'm kind of stationary. This gives me that added oomph, big time, and I can still use my perfect focus. I can still use my backpack, Aces backpack, to prompt a bigger hit. And put this all together, and I come up with big numbers thanks to the Sawyer knee pads. So having perfect, the first set was awesome, and the second set was just icing on the cake, which I ended up dropping to a teammate that was with me or trying to, but it for whatever reason it didn't allow me to do that. They weren't with me when I first got it. So, or I don't know if they fixed that. You used to be able to, when you were with a team and you acquired that, you opened up your cache, you could share that. No, I don't know if that's disappeared in the last week. Um, I can't attempt to do it again. So, if you know that fact left or right, know it for sure, not sure, it worked for you, you were able to share it, please go down to the bottom and share that with us. So again, one of the ones I had more difficulty with, um, and they'll just come, is attacking the 50 damage from headshots. So what you need to do is kill 2 or 3 of them that are in a group. And when they reanimate one that isn't with a group, or when the second wave comes out, sometimes when you put down the first wave and they're dead, even though they haven't reanimated, the second wave starts coming in. Well, that's a great time to shoot one of those in the head, because as they do, the other ones are starting to stand up. When you pop his head, the non-reanimated head pops, it does a lethal cloud of this animated goo from their head that does corrosive damage to everything around it. Now, if you're too close, it'll do it to you too, so be very, very careful. So I've kind of showed you here as I was talking some of the achievements I've done, some of the shots I've done. You can go back in there and kind of see things that how I completed it. Like I got my 20 headshots through a mission. Again, I do that fairly easy because I'm a sniper. Now, the difficulty is that means you have to kill 40 people. So you have to shoot them with a non-headshot, kill them when they reanimate, then you got to pop their head. I actually did that in Federal Emergency Bunker, but I would recommend that you do it while you're doing your hyenas in Lincoln Trade Center. So, but again, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Now, if you're doing it in a group, that sometimes is very difficult because everybody else is getting their kills in as well. And it really sucks to get to the end and find out you only shot 18 instead of 20, and you got to do it all over again. But the good thing is you have to kill 200 reanimated hostiles, so you got a few chances to do that if it is a mistake. And you do have to do a mission on hard or higher. You do have to get those 10 headshots kills in a row, which means doesn't have to be with 10 shots. It just means that the 10 deaths in a row that you do have to be headshot deaths, non-animated headshot deaths. So that means you, of your 200 non-animated headshots, you want to be able to uh, go through there and get those headshots um, without in a row. So if you kill 5 of them, headshot, 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 and then you miss a headshot, but you hit them in the body and it kills them, your streak starts over again. So be very careful. If nothing else, aim to the very tip top of their head. Um, this can be done, these kind of headshots can be done in a team setting, because if somebody else kills them because you miss uh, a little high, then you're okay. So that can be a little difficult. It's 3 points. It's a big one. The 3 points for the 10 headshots in a row. 4 points for getting those 20 headshots on reanimated hostiles is a big one. Those count for 7 points there. The 200 headshots on non-reanimated is 4 points. The 200 reanimated hostiles, just killing them in any way, is 4 points. Those are the biggies. 4 points for the 100 reanimated killed with headshots, and that's going to account for about 20. It's actually going to account for 19 of your points that you need. The rest of them are just ones and twos. The control point is a 3. The control point with all reanimated. So when you go into control point, you want to get yourself in a situation where you're not going to have to run away outside that control point area. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you're killing them first. No headshots. If you stay away from any headshots in that, you're probably safe off. That's where you don't want any headshots, because there's a possibility if you hit a headshot on a non-reanimated item, he won't reanimate, and then you might not get, it might not give you credit. I didn't fail that on purpose. I didn't fail just to see if it would work or wouldn't work. I just killed them all and then re-killed them all, and stayed in the area without leaving the area for the event, and I was able to get that completed. So I chose an checkpoint that wasn't super hard. If you've done a lot of checkpoints, you'll realize that some of them have hidden spots. Some of them make it difficult. Some of them have more choke points. Um, I like the ones when you have to defend. You have an open area, but yet you have an area where you can get elevated. Those checkpoints I really like a lot. Um, so that's kind of my choices on that. But again, this game is unique, that everybody has to play to their own flavor and their own likes. So what one guy likes, the next guy doesn't. So I hope you enjoyed some of the footage that I've done throughout the week. I hope these points through the week, a lot of you have watched, an up-and-comer, again, just over 90 days of making videos. I tried to produce a lot of videos, even though I've only been making videos for the last 90 to 120 days. I have been playing the game for a long time. I do have a tactical background in the military. I do have a lot of history and a lot of desire to teach and share information that I really want to come through. And here in the future, what I would like to do with all of my subs is, along with friends, is I would like to start doing raid carries. The Vibes has a player of the state of the game every Friday at noon. And he on PlayStation 4 does all these walkthroughs and stuff like that. So I'd like to start getting that done and more organized for Xbox. Get people through there. Let us start working more as a community. So if we ever do have this cross play, PlayStation thinks they can kick us Xboxers' butts. So I want to make sure that if that really is even possible, that us Xboxers know what we're doing, and we can hold our own against that if crossplay ever happens in this game. PC, that's always a difficulty. I wouldn't really want to play with PC guys because just the thought that there's just so many ways to add bots and programs and all that, and I don't want to get into that kind of game. Even on the professional levels, we've had people nailed for cheating on Rainbow Six and some other things like that on a national level, and that just boggles my mind. So I know this is a very long video, but again, I wanted to show you as much video and clips of this event as I could to show you that what we've done and how we've done it this week, and also a thank you to each and every one of you. Now, I have had a few builds this week that I ran this through. There's a number of ways to bleed or burn somebody, and you're going to have to burn those 100 reanimated hostages. I just used a flame turret and used my shield build, my thank you very much build that gave all that armor to my teammates. I also use that with new players, and that really seemed to help. So let me wrap this up in conclusion, and want to thank anybody. If you are starting from the beginning and trying to wrap up this event in these last few hours of the week, quit watching my video and start getting out there and killing reanimated things. That's my best advice for you. Get out there and play the game. If you want to get your shade level up, there's no Warhound glitch. Yeah, you can wait for the next glitch that may or may get you banned, but the best way to get your shade watch up is get in there and play the game. Get in there and grind. Get in there, just do the things that you need to do. Dark Zone, big experience. Control points at the highest level with directives on, with a good team. Legendary, just if you find a team that can run through Legendary and really good, you're going to get tons of information, experience, and you're going to get levels. If you can speed run the smaller, easier runs, great. That's good too. That all adds up. 100,000 here, 200,000 there. You do that 2 or 3 times, and if you were able to speed run these events in 10, 15 minutes, you can get 800,000, 1,000, or a million experience. That's over a shade level an hour. It's not doing shade levels every 10 minutes like Warhound, or every 2 or 3 minutes like some of the other ones, or back when target practice, you could get a lot of experience and get your shade levels every 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 6 minutes. get a shade level. But if you're getting anywhere from 2 to 8 level per hour, that you're grinding pretty good. And if you're not, then there's other ways to get in there and get there, get it done. Get a build that you're comfortable with. There's 1,000 of them out there, even though a lot of them are very similar. I got some the same ideas. There are some builds that you can build that just aren't going to work. There are some talents that should be gone. They're just, nobody's ever going to use them, because if you use that, there's another one you should have been using because it does more damage, it does a better job. You know, if you got 3 chests that give skill, one of them is going to be better than the other. That's just the way it is. It's just the way the meta is. So the only way they can do it is nerf one or boost the other one. And if you boost one without nerfing the other, then you're just gonna, be constantly boosting, and then you gotta boost the NPCs. Well, then it's just crazy. The game's kind of complicated from all the stuff that goes into it. If you don't believe me, check out the some of the videos, A1 AI and games video that they did with the developers of Massive. There's a few other ones out there. If you really want to know what I'm talking about on those, put a message down in the comments box, and I will point you to some videos that are out there of the behind the scenes making, snowdrop, stuff like that, or you can do some investigation on your own. So there it is. It's a long video. I did a lot of captures, a lot of video in the last 4 to 5 days. I wish I could have got this video out a little ahead of time, but there was just so much video to put in here and edit and tune down and then do the voiceover. So I know most of you might not even make it to this far, but if you have made it to this far, awesome job. uh, Let me know what you can do. Please subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe to my channel, please send a message down there, um, telling me how the best I can contact you. I want to interact with each and every one of my subs, especially at this lower level. I want to concentrate my knowledge and make sure you are enjoying this game, that you enjoying this content. So especially if you're on Xbox and you subscribe to me, you let me know, because when it comes on and somebody wants my help, you guys have top priority. Then my clan, then anybody else that is calling for help or needs help in a raid. I'll come running. But my subs, they come first. The clan's right behind them. Hopefully, everybody in my clan is a subber, and I guess they would be the highest priority. So, and if you're a subscriber, you play Xbox, you're on a fair amount of time, and I got a clan for you. And if that clan's full, then we have a few more that we're starting that we can get you to. And I got some friends that specialize in PvP, that's on Xbox, that does conflict, kamikaze conflict. Kazakami Von Doom has a great group of conflictors. They're in I think they may be flirting around with being back in the top 10 again, on Xbox, just because they do a lot of conflict and they're pretty good at it. So the biggest thing is with conflict is just getting in there and doing it. Um, Having the meta build, know what the meta builds are, know how to anti-meta. Those are all good things, and when you get in a clan that specializes in that, you can become even better. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for your patience. It's a very, very long video, the longest I've ever made at this point. So enjoy the video. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for lasting this long, that have. So awesome job. And you have a great and blessed day. Be safe. The coronavirus, yeah, the summer's coming on, and maybe we don't have to hide out as much, but I fear that this thing is not going to go away overnight. We're not done with it yet. Um, it's a very trying time, just as our game that we play and love, with all its flaws, shows us. So, peace out. This is Bear Essentials. This is Bear Buyers.